coming in the middle of the road. So if you're out there and watching this, give me a quick vote. Let me know what kind of experience you had in healthcare when you were sick in the hospital or came to doctor's office, or you brought your loved one to a hospital or a family member to an office or treatment, the emergency room, anything. I'm curious. The statistics tell us that healthcare is very dangerous for patients, and someone who's been working in healthcare for 26 years, yes, it can be sometimes. So I like to hear from people. Put up a quiz or a little poll every single day that has to do with what's happening in the world, and I like to hear from people. I like their opinions. you're stopping by, just throw in your answer. Let me know if you've ever experienced a negative treatment or bad treatment, wrong treatment, or wrong medicine while being at the hospital, or maybe picked one up from a pharmacy that was not labeled correctly, or gave you the wrong medication. I'm curious if anyone out there experienced anything like that. So I'm sure they have. I mean, the number of infections that we get in the hospital-related infections every single year is too big, too large. It should be zero, but too many people get infected in the hospital. Too many people get hurt in the hospital. I don't like it. No one should. I wouldn't want my family members to be hurt in the hospital. I certainly do everything I can in my power to make sure that no patients that are coming to my care are ever hurt in the hospital. So I'm just curious what the general public out there feels like. And I think the general public out there is telling me that after 10 minutes they don't really care. So not an important topic for today, I guess. Let's go ahead and cut that quiz and maybe a different question here. Let's see, start a poll. Do you think the ACA credits should be reinstated? Let's try that. Let's see what people think about that. So, just recently, House voted to reinstate the ACA credits that expired at the end of the year. Mike Johnson, the House Speaker, decided not to vote on the extension. There were two other bills that were voted on, and both of the bills didn't pass. And then just a few days ago, 17 Republicans broke away from their party, went with Democrats, and they voted on a bill against the wishes of Mike, the Speaker, and they voted to reinstate the ACA credits for the next 3 years. So I am curious if anyone out there has an opinion on that. I think that's great. I don't want children to lose health care, and I don't want those who are essentially worse off in our society when it comes to money to be without health care, some sort of a safety net in health care. So we got one yes vote, so thank you for that. And I think there is pressure now on the Senate. I think that the vote that passed in the House that calls for extension of ACA credits puts definitely pressure on the Senate, and I think the Senate, if they're persuaded enough, they will vote for it. The question is whether or not the president's going to sign that into law. The only other way to get that into law is to get 2/3 majority of veto override in both houses. Although, who knows? Maybe Trump will surprise us and he will vote yes. Crazier things have happened, right? He voted. He signed the released the Epstein files bill within 24 hours of it passing in both houses. So who knows? Maybe there's enough pressure on the Republicans to pass the ACA in the Senate and then send it to the president. And I hope there is. I mean, like this is, we're at a point where we live in the unaffordability era, and this is getting worse than the Great Recession that we've had. And at least one thing that we could do is we could maybe take care of those people who really need our help. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind paying a little bit more in taxes to take care of those who cannot help themselves. I think everybody should. I think it shows that you have character, you care about people. I care about me and I care about others. So, but I don't think anyone's eager. Not too many people are eager to spend more money, but we often forget that not paying for those who don't have access to health care, not paying a little bit, ultimately is going to cost us paying more, because at the end of the day, all these people are going to end up in the emergency where the care is a lot more expensive than it would be if they went to a primary care physician for a visit every 6 months and got the prescription medication. And unfortunately, the way that the United States is set up, that is not the easiest thing to do. So, looks like not too many people in the crowd today. I have one yes vote, which is 100% so far. So. Let's see, I'm on light so I can now read the comment. If we can afford to give millionaires and billionaires 2.7 trillion in cuts, we can definitely provide. Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. Healthy society benefits us all. Healthy and educated society, even better. Correct. I think healthcare and education are the two key areas that we lack in when it comes comparing to most of the other 33 or so countries that are on the same level as we are. I think you hit the nail on the head there. Right? Definitely, education counts for a lot. And the worst thing that we've ever done in this country is to tie the healthcare to a job. That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we have Medicare that doesn't require a job, right? These are people who retired and they get Medicare, right? Because they've paid into the system. So why not just have everybody else pay into the system? And, you know, if you pay in taxes as a young person, you're less likely to be sick. Few people will be sick, but majority will be healthy. Unlike the old people who are, you know, who are getting sicker more often as you age. Health fails more often. So, you know, you're paying right now for your own private insurance anywhere from, you know, $3,000 to $6,000 to $10,000 a year, and then you have to pay deductibles. So, what if you just paid $3,000 more in taxes instead? And everybody has insurance. That makes sense. I mean, I think it does. But unfortunately, the mindset of a capitalistic country such as ours is that if there is no profit to be made, if there is no large profit to be made, then the investment is not worth it. And there's obviously one way to control people is to deny them healthcare and education, right? Those who are poorly educated will make poorer choices. Those who are poorly educated don't even understand their own rights and how they money opens up possibilities. Education opens up careers, opens up the world to them. Hell, to even travel outside of the United States and see how another country functions, how people behave, how they celebrate things, how they mourn things, how society has evolved in other places for just about any American. But here we are. So for one vote for an extension. So if you're stopping by, just cast a quick vote, and then you can run away. I mean, appreciate all the votes. I just like to know how people feel, and one vote is not necessarily. I love that it's a yes, but it doesn't tell us anything. One vote, so. There'll be more opportunity in healthcare, and more opportunity jobs in the healthcare industry. Absolutely, right. So healthcare industry, the way it's set up right now in the United States is that you're rewarded for quantity and not quality. So there's really no incentive for you to perform quality work. You just perform work. Now, if you obviously perform really shitty work and get sued, that's a different story. But it's about quantity. So that's why the emergency rooms are filled to the brim. And there's not enough nurses to take care of everybody. There's not enough doctors to go around. Whereas you can have an emergency room full of 50, 60, 70 people and a total of 2 doctors for the entire emergency room that are taking care of the patient. Maybe they have a couple of nurse practitioners or a couple physician assistants that are helping, which they're fine. Those basic skills for emergency room are good enough. So I think we limit our ability to have a healthy society by limiting how many people can actually work. And now, the recent redesignation of how professional careers are seen by the education department, right? So they took nursing out as a professional career. It's probably going to discourage a lot more people from going into nurses. And I understand has nothing to do with whether they're a professional as a professional nurse. It has to do with the way that the amount of money that you can get for a program. And again, the for-profit healthcare industry is the same as the for-profit educational industry in this country. And I know many people overseas that get their medical degrees for almost no money, right? They get medical degrees and their nursing degrees or whatever, and then they venture out here in the United States with zero debt. They have to do a little bit of conversion in terms of their degree, so that it's equivalent here, so they have to take some equivalency test, but they spend no money because all these countries, they want to put out professionals out there so they can help people. And they come here because obviously the for-profit corporate healthcare system also sometimes creates an incentives in terms of making more money. And again, that is sort of superficial because only the people on the very top, the physicians and the administrators of the hospitals, are the ones who pay money. They don't make a lot of money. Down to it, when you have to pay for your mortgage, your insurance, your healthcare, your everything, and even making $100,000, $150,000 becomes difficult in the United States. Difficult to live on. So, but that's what we live in. We live in the capitalism. So we get more Bernie Sanders others and Mandamis in office. We're likely going to continue this path because it doesn't look like the Democrats are any more hungry to fix our healthcare system than the Republicans are. Republicans are not at all, and Democrats are essentially, I don't know what they're doing. You can't just pull into the road, lady, and just stay there. Anyway. No one is interested in talking to me today, so oh well.